Think about the last time you stopped mid-conversation to ask, but why does it work that way? Or found yourself going down a research rabbit hole at midnight because something didn't quite add up. That impulse, that refusal to accept things at face value, is your inquiring mind at work. An inquiring mind is a vital component of successful learning, personal growth, and professional development. It's characterized by a curious and open attitude that seeks to explore and understand the world around us. People with inquiring minds value questioning, investigation, and critical thinking. They actively seek out new ideas, experiences, and knowledge rather than waiting for information to come to them. In this article, we'll explore what an inquiring mind is, why it matters for success, and the real benefits and consequences of developing or neglecting this essential life skill. This video is brought to you by Spark Principles for Success. We believe that knowledge is not enough. It doesn't matter how much you know. If you don't have the traits to support your goal, you will not succeed. An inquiring mind is a mindset that values questioning and exploration, that wants to seek out new information, challenge assumptions, and consider alternative perspectives. People with an inquiring mind are open to new ideas and experiences. They're not afraid to ask questions or admit when they don't know something. This mindset encourages critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving, and leads to greater understanding and personal growth. The best example of an inquiring mind is a child who asks why to the nth degree. Why is the sky blue leads to why do we see colors, which leads to why do our eyes work that way? Each answer opens 3 new questions. Invariably, the final answer becomes an exasperated because. How parents respond to that why phase may have a bearing on the child's development of an inquiring mind. While the habit of asking why lessens as we grow, those who maintain it or redevelop it find themselves constantly learning and growing, and it's never too late to redevelop it. Try it. You can practice this same approach in your daily life. When someone at work says, "That's just how we do it," ask why. When you read a news headline that surprises you, ask why it happened and why it matters. When you feel frustrated or anxious, ask why you're feeling that way and what triggered it. When a product succeeds or fails in the market, ask why customers responded that way. When you notice a pattern in your relationships, ask why it keeps recurring. Each why takes you deeper into understanding and often reveals insights you'd otherwise miss. Find 3 things that you can take on the why trail and see where it takes you. An inquiring mind is important for success in virtually every area of life. In the workplace, it leads to increased innovation, problem-solving, and creativity. When you question the status quo, you spot opportunities others miss. You find better ways of doing things. You excel in your career not just by working hard, but by working smart. In education, an inquiring mind transforms passive consumption of information into active learning. Instead of memorizing facts, you understand concepts. You make connections. You perform better academically because you actually grasp what you're studying, rather than just cramming for tests. Outside of work and school, an inquiring mind leads to a richer and more fulfilling life. You seek out new experiences, develop new skills, and broaden your perspectives. You're never bored because there's always something new to discover, understand, or explore. If you don't feel that you are like this, you may be asking, is an inquiring mind a life skill that can be improved? The answer is yes. An inquiring mind is absolutely a skill you can develop and improve over time. You're not stuck with the level that you're at right now. To cultivate an inquiring mind, develop a range of cognitive skills, including critical thinking, analysis, and evaluation. One effective approach is to regularly engage in activities that require you to ask questions, evaluate information, and think deeply about complex issues. Reading widely, writing to clarify your thoughts, debating ideas with others, or tackling problem-solving exercises all strengthen these mental muscles. Another important aspect is cultivating an open-minded attitude and a willingness to challenge your own assumptions and beliefs. This means being genuinely willing to consider alternative viewpoints and to question the validity of your own ideas. It's uncomfortable at first, but incredibly valuable. Most importantly, develop a lifelong commitment to learning and stay curious about the world around you. By actively seeking out new information and experiences, you continue to broaden your perspective and develop the skills needed to maintain an inquiring mind. With practice and dedication, anyone can become more curious, more questioning, and better equipped to navigate the complexities of the world around us. The benefits of an inquiring mind as a life skill are substantial and far-reaching. People with inquiring minds are more open to new ideas, experiences, and knowledge. They're not limited by their current understanding or beliefs, which means they can adapt and grow throughout their lives. This mindset encourages critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving, leading to increased innovation and success in both personal and professional pursuits. When you approach challenges with genuine curiosity rather than defensiveness, you find better solutions. Beyond practical benefits, an inquiring mind leads to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. You seek out new experiences and knowledge. You grow as a person. Life becomes an ongoing adventure of discovery rather than a series of routines to get through. In practical terms, this means you're the person who spots the flaw in the plan before it becomes a problem, who asks the question everyone else was thinking, who finds the creative solution others missed. You're more valuable in any team or organization because you see what others overlook. The consequences of not having an inquiring mind can be significant and limiting. People who aren't curious or open-minded miss out on valuable learning opportunities, which directly limits their personal and professional growth. While others are expanding their skills and knowledge, a closed mind keeps you stuck at your current level. A lack of critical thinking skills leads to poor decision-making. When you accept information at face value without questioning it, you're vulnerable to mistakes, manipulation, and missed opportunities. You might follow outdated processes because that's how we've always done it, or make choices based on incomplete information. Similarly, a lack of creativity leads to a lack of innovation in both personal and professional pursuits. You solve problems the same way everyone else does, which means you get the same results everyone else gets. Overall, a closed-minded approach limits your potential and leads to a less fulfilling and successful life. The world keeps changing, and those who aren't curious about those changes get left behind. While an inquiring mind is generally a positive trait, it can become problematic in certain situations if not balanced with other skills. Some people with highly inquiring minds struggle to focus on a particular task or goal because they're easily distracted by new ideas or experiences. You start researching one thing, and 6 hours later, you're deep into something completely different. While this can lead to interesting discoveries, it can also prevent you from finishing what you started. An inquiring mind can sometimes lead to overthinking, which causes anxiety or indecisiveness. When you can see multiple angles and possibilities for every decision, making a choice becomes harder. Analysis paralysis is real. However, these potential drawbacks can be managed with self-awareness and a balanced approach to learning and decision-making. Recognize when your curiosity is serving you and when it's becoming a distraction. Set boundaries. Finish what you start. Use your inquiring mind as a tool, not a master. An inquiring mind contributes to attitude by encouraging critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving. These skills are essential for success in education, work, and personal relationships. When you approach situations with an inquiring mind, you challenge assumptions, seek out new information, and consider alternative perspectives. This leads to greater understanding and more innovative solutions to problems. You don't just learn facts, you understand systems. You don't just follow instructions, you improve processes. Additionally, an inquiring mind promotes a growth mindset where you believe your abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication rather than being fixed. This belief itself becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you think you can improve, you do improve because you keep trying new approaches and learning from failures. Where does an inquiring mind fit in the Spark Principles framework? Within the Spark Principles framework, an inquiring mind sits under the A, attitude category, specifically within the learning cluster. Spark Principles stands for skills, personality, attitude, resilience, and knowledge. These 5 areas work together to create the foundation for success in any area of life. Spark Principles is built on one fundamental insight: knowledge is not enough. You can read every book, watch every video, and understand exactly what needs to be done, but without the right traits to support that knowledge, you won't succeed. Think about it. You might know how to get fit, start a business, or improve a relationship, but if you lack the traits that turn knowledge into action, that information sits unused. You stall. You fall back into old patterns. You know what to do, but you don't do it. That's where traits like an inquiring mind become essential. An inquiring mind isn't just about being curious, it's about having the trait that drives you to seek understanding, challenge assumptions, and keep learning even when it's uncomfortable. It's what transforms passive knowledge into active growth. When you develop an inquiring mind as a trait, not just a temporary behavior, it becomes part of who you are. You don't have to force yourself to ask questions or seek new information. You do it naturally, because that's the kind of person you've become. This is why an inquiring mind sits in the attitude category for our purposes. Your attitude towards learning determines whether you grow or stagnate. Do you approach new information with curiosity or defensiveness? Do you see challenges as opportunities to learn or threats to avoid? These attitudes shape everything else. The Spark Principles framework recognizes that success comes from developing across all 5 areas. Strengths in one area can compensate for weaknesses in others. But certain traits, like an inquiring mind, act as multipliers. When you're genuinely curious and open to learning, you improve faster in every other area. You pick up new skills more easily. You understand people better. You bounce back from setbacks because you're constantly learning from them. An inquiring mind is one of those fundamental traits that support everything else you're trying to build. An inquiring mind supports learning by encouraging you to seek out new experiences and knowledge while promoting critical thinking and creativity. When you approach learning with an inquiring mind, you're more likely to engage with the material, ask questions, and consider alternative perspectives. This leads to deeper learning and better understanding of concepts, which translates to improved academic performance. But more importantly, it transforms learning from a chore into something genuinely interesting. You're not studying to pass a test, you're exploring to satisfy your curiosity. An inquiring mind helps you develop a genuine love of learning because you come to value the process of discovery and exploration itself. Learning becomes its own reward rather than just a means to an end. How does an inquiring mind affect success in business? Well, let's look at that. People with inquiring minds are more innovative, creative, and adaptable, which helps them succeed in a rapidly changing business environment. In practice, this means you're the one who questions whether the current approach is really the best one. You spot market shifts before your competitors do. You ask customers the questions that reveal unmet needs. You're not content with good enough when better is possible. An inquiring mind promotes critical thinking and problem solving, which are essential skills for success in virtually every business role. Whether you're in sales, operations, strategy, or leadership, the ability to ask good questions and think deeply about challenges sets you apart. People with inquiring minds also seek out new opportunities and ideas, approaching challenges with a positive and proactive attitude. They see obstacles as puzzles to solve rather than walls to stop them. And what about our everyday life, the social world? An inquiring mind has a positive impact on success in the social world by promoting open-mindedness, curiosity, and empathy. When you're genuinely curious about other people, they feel it. They feel seen and valued. People with inquiring minds are more interested in and respectful of different perspectives and cultures, which helps them build strong and positive relationships with others. Instead of judging people who are different, you want to understand them. This opens doors to friendships and connections that enrich your life. An inquiring mind also promotes a willingness to learn from others, which leads to personal growth and improved social skills. You're not trying to prove you're the smartest person in the room. You're trying to learn something valuable from everyone you meet. You're also more likely to be creative and innovative in social situations, leading to more fulfilling and rewarding experiences. You're the person who asks interesting questions at dinner parties, who creates unexpected connections between people, who makes gatherings more memorable. An inquiring mind also has a positive impact on relationships and family life in several meaningful ways. One key benefit is that it promotes empathy and understanding. When you're genuinely curious about the thoughts, feelings, and perspectives of the people in your life, you understand them better. By actively seeking to understand your family members and loved ones, you communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts more easily, and build stronger relationships. Instead of assuming you know what someone means or wants, you ask, you listen, you try to see things from their perspective. An inquiring mind helps you navigate the complex social dynamics that exist within families and relationships. By asking questions and seeking to understand the motivations and emotions of others, you identify and address potential sources of conflict or tension before they become serious problems. This creates a more harmonious and supportive family environment where everyone feels heard and valued. When family members know you're genuinely interested in understanding them, not just waiting for your turn to talk, they open up more. Trust deepens, relationships strengthen. You might think that an inquiring mind is the same as curiosity, but they are not exactly the same thing. Curiosity is the desire to know or learn something new, while an inquiring mind involves a more systematic approach to asking questions and seeking knowledge. An inquiring mind involves not only the desire to learn, but also the ability to analyze and evaluate information critically, draw connections between different pieces of information, and think deeply about complex issues. It's curiosity with a method, with discipline, with purpose. Curiosity can lead to an inquiring mind, but it's not the whole story. An inquiring mind is a more advanced and intentional form of curiosity that involves not just asking questions, but also actively seeking answers and evaluating the information you find. So I think we can agree that an inquiring mind is an essential life skill that leads to greater success and fulfillment in both personal and professional pursuits. By valuing curiosity, critical thinking, and exploration, you broaden your horizons, expand your knowledge, and move closer to your goals. Cultivating an inquiring mind requires self-awareness, open-mindedness, and a willingness to seek out new experiences and ideas. It means being comfortable with not knowing, asking questions others might think are obvious, and admitting when you're wrong. With these qualities, you can reach your full potential and lead a more fulfilling and successful life. The world rewards those who ask good questions, who think deeply, who never stop learning. Start where you are, question what you've always accepted, and see where your curiosity leads you. I hope that's been helpful. Our Enquiring Mind article is one of the top 3 on the website, and I think that's a good sign. Lasting growth doesn't come from quick fixes. It comes from building traits that compound over time. With the Spark Principles Trait Mastery subscription, you'll follow a framework that makes self-improvement simple, practical, and sustainable. The link is in the description, along with a link to our quiz. Do you have an inquiring mind? Let me know in the comments what you want to achieve. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe to help us keep bringing you videos that help you unlock your potential, one trait at a time.